Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Women's Weekly. Today, we have 4 teams duking it out to see who can take the crown, and we actually have a new twist starting this month. So I've announced it on Twitter a couple times and to the players themselves, but basically, we are going to be switching to a bounty system. So players have to secure 2 wins over the course of a month of these weeklies to earn a $50 prize, and that'll be up to 3 players each month because the max of our funding right now is $150 a month. But I'm hoping this really incentivizes more weekly play and, makes it so that the players have something to actually compete for on a weekly basis. So, as it progresses, if we get more funds, bigger prize pools, we can probably add other incentives as well, such as, best goal of the month or, top scorer, that sort of thing, to get these ladies a little bit more prize money. But, instead of doing it the traditional way where it's just, single one-off tournament winner, gets the most money, second place gets money, third. It really goes off of, if you can consistently compete and if, right now you can compete at a high level. So we are going to get into our first game here, but we've got Empathy Whiff with a Pulse player, Glbbous, on one side against Last Feas, who we have seen a couple times. And then we have the Penguins and I Don't Skull Emoji on the other, which we are going to watch. So let's get right into it. Okay, looks like we are partially through our first game here. Again, we have best of 3s for the semifinals into a best of 5 finals. And it looks like I Don't Skull Emoji are taking it pretty handily here against Penguins. We have Emily, Pads, and I think Mythra, no, Karamel on one side for the I Don't Skull Emoji players. And then sorry, one second. I'm dealing with some communications real quick. I will be right back on the mic. Okay, so getting back into it. We are following Emily off the ceiling. She even gets reset into a goal. Very well played by her. And that is going to be a 4th one for this I Don't Skull Emoji squad. Now, the Penguins, they're going to have to work pretty hard to bring this back. There is ample amount of time for them to make a return to form here. But, they're going to have to work at it. And I didn't get a chance to introduce them as I so rudely interrupted myself by responding to a player DM. But we've got Erika, makaylynn, and Mythra on the other side. So actually we have 2 EU players in this lobby and they are perfectly balanced on either side of the field. Let's get a quick ping check as per usual to see what they're working with. Oof, not a good server for the EU gals, but hopefully their NA counterparts can make up for it because, as I was saying in the intro of this video, that, they're playing for something now. They have a long-term bounty on the line to see if they can do it, and I did not specify any rules. The players can get their 2 wins over the course of a month with the same team, or they can constantly switch teams to whoever's available. And the winners of this week will have a huge advantage over all the other players in the league because they'll get off on the right foot. So a win here is pretty paramount, but it is not impossible for anybody else to come in and take the prize because there's pretty much I was looking out in the future as I was seeing if this bounty system would be feasible, if it would work. And there are basically 3 months that have 4 weeks and then a 5-week month in between or something like that. So at least every single month players will have 4 chances to get in there and try to secure their win, try to get this, you know, tally up to the bounty. And so, you know, there's just enough of a difficulty. It's not a one-time win for it to have a little bit of a continuous stake as we go week to week, but not so much that it is impossible for 3 players to reach it. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you guys have any ideas, you know, as viewers as well, for future bounties that we could possibly do when we get more prize pool, a bigger prize pool, just leave it down in the comments below. Let me know, because I'm sure, you know, the creative minds all working together can come up with some pretty cool ideas for how these ladies can earn some money playing these weeklies. But getting back into the game, it looks like I Don't Skull Emoji are going to take this first one, and it is going to be in a pretty convincing fashion, although, you know, Penguins brought it back here in the second half of this match to at least keep the score respectable and even take 1 goal of their own. But yeah, they're going to have to work pretty hard here to stay in the tournament and see if they can't make a comeback in the second game. Game number 2, Champions Field. We've got I Don't Skull Emoji on the advantage here, having 1 game up on the Penguins. So we're going to see if the Penguins can bring it back and, you know, bring this into a best of 3 scenario, actually take it to a 3rd game. But Pads is going to have something to say about that as she gets a quick goal off the rip. The player is looking ripping, roaring, ready to go. Don't know why I just said that. That was ultra cringe. Forgive me. As we have an own goal on the blue half yet again. It looks like Pads just padding her stats, no pun intended, as she gets her second to bring her team up 2-0 within just the first 15 seconds. It's only 15 seconds in, and I Don't Skull Emoji have taken a hefty lead. So can Penguins regain composure, bring it back here, and make it a true fight? We're going to see a little bit of teammate on teammate bumpage, though, which is going to make it hard as Mythra and makaylynn double commit for that ball on the side wall. Emily's going to clear it away easily, though, as Erika pops it around her. She goes for the aerial in the middle, but Pads is up faster. She's going for a second touch, hits it off the back wall, leaves Emily open with the shot, but Mythra gets a save on it, and it's going to have Karamel pushing the net. makaylynn, a clear high with an Erika follow into the corner. Mythra committing too far out, and Emily is going to capitalize on that as Pads was also waiting in the center. You had to imagine that was a goal either way. So just a little bit of a triple commit there on the Penguins end, you know, getting a little bit too invested in clearing that ball into the corner. You only need 1 player on the ball at a time for that to be successful. That is why we witness rotations as they are today. But we're going to see Karamel giving a nice little back pass to Pads, which is going to be popped out into the center. Karamel doesn't have enough boost. She's just going to get a slight tap on it again. Emily also out of boost, which is going to leave the Penguins to have a little bit of space in the back line. Pads jumping in again, though, which is going to force makaylynn to get up for the save. Now we have Karamel taking it slow in the corner. She pops it back to Emily, who takes it up for an air dribble, goes for the reset, gets it past 1. Karamel, her shot is just a little bit too wide, though, forcing Erika awkward in the corner. Now Mythra going for a pass upfield. Emily gets in the way of it and cuts off the pass to Erika. And now we're going to see it move back the other direction. Karamel almost got a mid-air pass to Pads, but she did bump her in the process, which means we are back to Emily in the middle, popping it past 1, getting it past the second, and taking a 4th goal. Now, there's 3 minutes left in this second game, but the offensive pressure from I Don't Skull Emoji looks pretty convincing right now. I don't know if we are going to see a comeback from Penguins, but, you know, if anybody can do it, they can do it in 3 minutes. 3 minutes is an ample amount of time. You just got to see that crucial turnaround, less double and triple commits, more consistent pressure, and hopefully no own goals, as makaylynn almost puts it in her own net. Erika tries to get up early to get the block, but Karamel has it around her, and Emily following it into the corner. Karamel making an early turn on that. Puts a fake and a backflip challenge into there. Mythra accidentally tapping it back into the center. Emily's going to fake out the shot and go for 50 down low. And that 50 is almost going to make it in. Pad's shot just bounced wide and both of the orange offenders move past the ball. Now Mythra going for an air roll shot. She can't get around it. And that's going to leave it open for makaylynn from the left side. We had more misses than connections here in the corner, and that just means that they are going to bring it back to the same scoreline as we saw in the previous match. Now, Penguins, they've got to keep this momentum going, or else they are going to be down and out of this semifinals. Mythra making a miss, and makaylynn was not ready for it as it bounces past them once again. Just a painful way to go out. And we have Mythra in the chat saying lowest score wins, right? So, just a little bit of mistakes on the goal line. We have Penguins committing too soon to challenges, and you know, I wouldn't even say there are any forced mistakes that I don't skull emoji are putting against them. They've just got to clean up their play a little bit and they'll be right back into this. But we are going to see Emily score once again, taking advantage of that miss. Karamel getting a clean pass, pass 2, 3. Wow, in the corner. That was actually a clean pass. No mistakes made from Penguins on there in terms of being able to read that play. It was a pretty tough one from the get-go. So very well done by Karamel, and we are going to see this return to offensive pressure for Oofta, and we have a Brazil. Let's go. The text chat is just going wild, so if you want to read it, you can zoom in and see what these ladies are chatting about. But it is looking like a pretty handy win for the I don't skull emoji, and Penguins are gonna have to go back to the drawing board as they find themselves at a loss. Mythra actually bringing it back towards their goal. It looks like we have a little bit of trolling here in the final seconds, and Karamel gonna take that goal away from her, make sure it goes in. But yeah, I would call this game pretty well done and dusted. At least as far as Mythra is concerned, seeing as she is scoring on her own goal. Emily going for a pinch out here, and we see Mythra going up for a clip. Paz tries to get in the way, but Mythra gets clean past her as her and Erika are trying to do some freestyling plays here. Mythra with a fake pass 1, tries to get it past the second in Emily, but she is not successful. makaylynn taking it back to her corner. She's going to try to herd it out, and it's going to force Erika to do a soft lob over the top. Mythra challenging, bumps Emily. She can't get the pinch into the net, though, and we are going to remain at an 8-1 scoreline with the final minute counting down. Now Pads going up for an aerial. Karamel off the backboard, trying to get some, you know, pre-jump play out here. makaylynn pops it up for Erika. Even though she died in the process, she did come away with the goal. makaylynn with a good pass, getting it over the last defender in Emily, and Erika was able to put it on line. Oh man. Now we have a demo in the midfield. makaylynn's going to take it slowly out of her back corner, go for an air dribble, but Emily was up for the pre-jump block ages ago. Erika flopping on the back wall. Can we see Karamel make a play on net? makaylynn gets an easy save away and is faked out by Emily as she turns on the net. Emily getting pop pass 1, pass 2, and Pads is going to finish it off for the 9th goal of this game. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is probably one of the higher scoring games I've seen in Women's Weekly that I can remember. So this is definitely one for the record books, but we are going to see I Don't Skull Emoji moving into the finals and securing their chance at taking the first victory in Women's Weekly for April. All right, moving back to the bracket, it looks like we've got Las Feas taking down Empathy Whiff, and it was in 2 games as well. Pretty close score lines though, so it looked like it was a pretty comparable matchup, but we are going to see I Don't Skull Emoji and Las Feas in the finals, duking it out for the first win. What is going to be the result of this? We'll get right into it. All right, we have entered our finals. I Don't Skull Emoji versus Las Feas, and it looks like I Don't Skull Emoji have already taken their first goal in this matchup. Now, Pads, resident EU player, we're going to see if she got a better server role this time and hopefully has a more stable connection to the server. Ping check in 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's even worse than last time. Okay, it's actually pretty comparable, sitting at 136, but still, Pads not getting the favorable role, and we are going to see, you know, probably a few struggles, but, you know, EU women's players are used to playing on NA servers, it seems, for their competition, as there are fewer EU teams, so it makes it harder when you do cross-region stuff to justify playing on the EU server unless it's 2 EU teams. So Pads probably has a bit of experience with this, but we are going to see how she fares into this one as the top scorer on her team, you know, as she usually shows. Now she's going to pop it up for some time, give her teammates a moment to get some boost, and now she has Emily in support, popping it for an aerial in the middle. She gets the reset, she gets over 1, almost over 2. Karamel going for the bump, but she cannot get it in. She's going to need Pads to finish it off, and there we go. Our EU residents putting in work, even on the 136. She is going to beat the last defender and actually just dunk the the life out of Nana. Like, that was just a forcing the goal if I've ever seen one. It's going to see them go up 2-0 in game number 1. Now, a reminder that this is a best of 5 finals, so it is going to take 3 wins to take the crown. And we're going to see Pads get past 1, almost gets past 2. Emily putting the shot high. She's going to leave it for her teammates to follow up and get the boost steal. Just keeping that pressure on this orange half. Now the clear almost gets past Pads, but May is jumping too far past the ball to be able to make something of it. We're going to see Daniela. I think we have a new player on the field, so I'm not used to pronouncing her name yet, but she is going to make the block for now. May taking it off the sidewall, getting a lob out into the middle. Karamel's going to be up for the easy block on that, and she is even going to follow it into the corner on low boost, trying to keep the pressure on. Emily almost gets it flicked back into the middle, but she misses the contact on that and is going to find Karamel wasting time in the corner. Now Emily across the goal line is going to need Pads, stopping in the corner, passing it back out to Karamel. She doesn't get the right pop on it, so she has to use all of her boosts to try to recover a touch, and now we see a double commit from Pads and Emily. Another double commit from Karamel and Pads, and Emily just with the top right shot. Somehow that is going to work out. For the life of me, I don't know how. That seemed like chaos from the spectator perspective, but, you know, if it comes away in the goal, I suppose it works. They're going to be 3-0 against Las Feas. Now, this Las Feas team, in the past, they have competed multiple times in Women's Weekly, but they have competed with a different third, which I believe, if I'm remembering her name correctly, is Ibutsi. Don't know where she is today, but we are going to see Daniela in her place. And is it going to make a difference for this roster? They seem to do, you know, they seem to put up a fight against most teams, but we haven't seen crazy results from Las Feas thus far. So, you know, maybe making it into the finals is already a, you know, wow, a finish best for them. Can they go one step further and even take the entire tournament win for the week? That would certainly be an upset in my eyes in terms of just looking at the players themselves and making predictions beforehand, but we're going to see if they can follow it up with actual performance in game. Now Emily taking her time off the sidewall. She doesn't have much boost, but she's going to go for the flip reset. Does not get it, so she's going to have to bail out and steal the corner boost. Now we have a demo from Daniela. It almost results in the goal for May, but it is off the right side of the post. Now Pads playing it patient, fakes out one, gets it past the second, but she does not have the momentum to continue moving this down the field. Emily runs ahead for a demo, but is still going to be on the blue half. We have a pinch in front of the goal. Karamel saves it out to the side, and Pads trying to get it clear past one. We have Karamel going ahead. She's going to try to get the demo on the last player. Pads dropping it down to their third, but they are not there to capitalize with the goal. Now Karamel, she's just going to keep it on the side wall, passing out to Emily, and it is going to bounce in for the fourth. I Don't Skull Emoji continuing their performance from the semifinals and making it a pretty handy victory in this game number 1. Now we're going to play out the last second for posterity. Is a goal going to come from it? No. We end at 4-0 in favor of I Don't Skull Emoji, meaning they move one up in the best of 5 series. Game number 2 brings us to Utopia Coliseum. Are we going to see a change in momentum from Las Feas? Looks like we've got Pads not playing for a second, but the players are going to respect that and not take a goal right off. But we move into regular midfield play here as we get the first 15 seconds into it. Nana with a clear high over top of the midfield, forcing Emily to get up, waste some boost to make that stop. Now we have Panic in the back corner. Emily, 0 boost, putting it out into the middle, but she cannot get a follow-up. Karamel popping it past one. Now we have 2 players upfield, and there's going to be a rush to take possession of the ball. Emily popping out the back wall, leaves it open for Karamel, and it is good. That is the first goal in the second game. Just Emily playing pretty quick there, off the rip, gets it off the defender into the back wall, and that bounces out perfectly for Karamel's positioning. Now, if you watched last week's play, you will recall that Karamel is a pretty aggressive player. She goes ahead for demos. She, pushes for physical play on the other team, and also turns back into rotation a lot, cutting very frequently. Just a very aggressive style of play. So, one of the things that this team is going to have to be careful for if Las Feas are paying attention is, making sure that they don't have too many double commits without the third being able to handily defend in the back, because that is where Las Feas will be able to find their openings. When they have this very aggressive push on their front line, basically on their goal line, and, getting a breakaway, getting it past the third player, that is probably the only way they're going to find success. But so far, we see I Don't Skull Emoji just crushing them with the pressure. Nana almost getting a save far enough out to the left side, but Emily diving in and getting it bottom right corner. Now, it is easier said than done to make these comments about the adaptations that a team can make, but for them to actually recognize it while they are playing the game, that's a much harder thing to do. So, that is why, most of the top teams, they have their coach sitting in the comms, watching the games, spectating from one of the player perspectives, and, able to give them advice, because, when you see the entire field from, everybody switching perspectives, it's a lot easier to call stuff. But when you're actually just watching your own gameplay and only seeing, the plays that you make, it's a lot harder to determine what is going wrong that you need to fix. So if this Las Vegas team can manage to pull it off, that I think is what they will need to do to take the win against I Don't Skull Emoji. But so far, we see Pads, continued pressure. I feel like this ball has very rarely left the orange half, and Las Vegas are running low on boost because of it. Nana getting a good play, past one, but is easily stopped away by Pads. She doesn't have any boost, so she's just going to fake one out in the corner, try to get a pop out to Emily, but she is demoed in the middle. That means Pads is going to have to take it to the other corner. takes it up for an aerial over the goal line, tries to get a reset on it, and May hits it away. Now Emily mistouch as she brings it back into the corner past Karamel, actually beating one of her own defenders, which surely should have been a mistake there, and is going to leave her all alone in the back. She's demoed once again by Daniela. It looks like Daniela is pretty aggressive as well. She is probably the Las Feas equivalent of Karamel here. Trying to do some work for her team, messing up rotations, but Karamel placing it perfectly in the top left corner. There are very few places that she could have scored that goal and actually been successful, as they were all moving on the right side. So she just took her time, placed it left. It didn't have to be a screamer of a shot. It was, you know, placement over power on that one. Now we have a kickoff going back into Las Feas corner. Pads up quickly. She gets a little bit too much heat on that pinch though, so it's going to force Emily to take it off to the right sidewall. Now she goes up quick for the shot. She cannot get the angle dropping down, and Karamel right up in there to make the challenge, keep it in the orange half. Now Daniela trying to get it past one, but Emily stops her. She's going to find herself upfield, trying to get a demo, trying to get a physical play, but Pads popping it out to one, barely pings it off the top corner of the net, and that is going to leave May to clear it out. Now we have an advance, a rare advance on the I don't skull emoji net, and it is going to be short-lived as Karamel deletes the challenging player, even tries to follow up on her own teammate Emily, as I'm assuming she did not have any boost to make a play on that ball. But once again, we are going to move down to the orange half of the field. Emily, quick pop-up high. It's going to bounce high off the ground. Pads unsuccessful on her shot attempt. Now May getting it past one. She fakes out one. Trying to get a 50 into the middle, but it goes over her head as Emily takes it away into the corner. Pads misreading that, and Karamel's just back in time to get that slice. That was pretty fortunate rotation on her part. But now we are going to see Pads popping it out to the middle. Emily trying to get a right side shot, but Karamel is going to pop it away from Pads. And we are going to remain on the 3-0 scoreline as we move into the third game. Game number 3. I don't skull emoji are up 2-0 in the best of 5 series. Las Feas I don't think, they haven't even scored a goal, if I'm remembering correctly, in this matchup. So they're going to have to do a lot of work. Oh, that was a good opportunity right there. Nana's shot just getting barely saved away. And that is going to bring it back to midfield play. But Las Feas, they're going to have to do a lot of work to bring back this series into a winning position. And Emily is going to have none of it. She says, nope. I'm going to take this perfect pass from Karamel, who drops it down into the middle right in front of the goal line for me, even gets a bump on the defenders, and make it an easy 1-0 in the first 30 seconds of this game. Now we get a kickoff going all the way back into the blue corner. Nana with a shot on net, but it lacks the power, it lacks the precision. And now Emily with a quick pass off of the corner. It's going to leave Pads scrambling to get the block. Trying to buy some time for her players in the back line here. Emily getting a nice touch off there. Karamel going ahead for the demo. She's even going to follow again for the demo plays. She gets one more in the back. Even the respond player, I think that was the same lady that she just deleted. But Pads, her shot getting saved away. Now it's going to be down to May, making a play down the other end. Karamel gets a beat past one and leaves Daniela awkward in the back. And Pads is going to try to put it in the bottom right, but her placement is just a little bit wide. Emily getting the 50. Means Karamel is going to have to buy some time on the side wall. And Daniela popping it over one. Pads, early interception. She even tries to get the follow-up, but she did not read the bounce correctly. Emily with a bounce shot. Karamel close follow. And Pads is going to come in to save some time for her teammates, even get a shot on net, and it does go in as she finds the gap in the defense. Now, very good recovery from her. It looks like Emily didn't get the boost, so she was doing a little protesting turtle back there. But Pads is just going to continue, do the work, and get the goal. So now, I don't skull emoji. It's looking all too easy for them as Emily moves down, gets a flip reset, doesn't connect with the ball after that, but the panic that ensues is going to leave it open for Karamel to get her first in this third game. Yeah, just good follow-up. You know, the threat of the reset is sometimes all that you need, whether you connect with the ball or not. Karamel going up early for the air dribble. She gets a pass one, goes for the flip reset, but Daniela gets in the way. She's going to stay close to the ball, try to make this challenge on Pads, but Pads air dribbles away from her, gets another flip reset. Looks like we've got some flip reset merchants here on the I don't skull emoji side, and even, oh, beautiful double tap from Karamel. Pads getting the pass out to her off the flip reset. Karamel takes it from the midfield, pops it high onto the back wall, and gets the tight angle read into the bottom bin of the net. Very well done, very well placed. Didn't need to have a lot of power on it. The placement was perfect. Now Emily getting a pop towards net. It's going to be saved away by Nana. Karamel with a slow air dribble. Past the goal line, and Pads with a crazy flip reset goal. I'm pretty sure she even got the contact on that. Karamel keeping it close to the back wall made Nana awkward, and Pads pushing it past Daniela as the last defender just into that top left corner. Ugh, man, these goals that these girls are putting out right now are just unbelievable. Now Pads meeting it early. Karamel's going to try to get the freestyle pre-jump on that pass, but she is not going to connect with it. Now it leaves Nana clear on the other end. Karamel barely makes a pass for the save, but she's going to get it past one. Emily pre-jumped in the middle, almost on target, and a double tap. These girls are showing the Las Feas team what is what right now. Karamel tipping it past one, getting the hard pass into the middle. Emily was already pre-jumped for it. Double taps it off the back wall. I'm saying if we had a best goal of the month trophy prize for these players, man, we might be seeing it right here, because this team is just playing off of each other so well. Emily up early again, but Karamel is going to get the flip reset and try to get the goal for herself. Now, it would be interesting to see for teams if that incentive is added, you know, and it only applied for the person who scored the goal. Would we see a little bit more selfish plays, you know, on the pitch, or would they still try to, you know, work together, get a team goal, and try to make it as beautiful as possible? You know, as if we get more prize pool to work with, we might just see that. But for now, it is all about winning. And it looks like I don't skull emoji are not messing around. They are going to take this first week in April. They're going to take the championship and have it for themselves. Give themselves the opportunity, having a great advantage for the rest of the month. Now, as I said in the beginning, it's 2 wins over the course of the month, and the first 3 players who secure that get a $50 payout, and that will be every month moving forward. So, you know, this is a monthly thing. Once they get their 2 wins and once we finish playing out the prize pool, it will be depleted until the new month starts. But it's looking like we have our victors right here on the field. It is just a matter of how many victory laps they are going to run and how many goals they're going to go up. Las Feas, though, I do want to talk about this team for a little bit. It looks like with the pickup of Daniela, they did pretty well to, you know, clean up a little bit of their weaknesses that they previously were experiencing, which looked like, you know, a little bit of defensive mess ups and whatnot. And, you know, that could be down to the player themselves, or just because it's been a little while since we've seen them. So, you know, more practice, more playtime. Maybe some players have improved, but not having too bad of showing for their first return after a little bit in Women's Weekly. And, you know, the scoreline is not going to show it, but I do want to give a shout to this team for continuing to show up. It was said at the start of this, you know, they were one of the first teams who started playing in Women's Weekly, and it was rumored that they were planning to join the women's Carball NA scene as a team, and I do believe they're all Spanish speaking, if I am not mistaken. So they would be the first full Spanish speaking roster that we would have in NA, but they never showed up when the regionals returned. So I don't know what went on there, if they just lost interest in the league, but I'm happy to see that they showed up for Women's Weekly. It's always nice to see new players. And, you know, since we have such an outrageous scoreline right now, I am going to take this opportunity to say that any woman that is interested in playing in this, all you have to do is join the Discord and be a verified member of the Women's Carball Discord server. So you have to be part of Women's Weekly and you have to be a part of Women's Carball, because our ultimate goal is to have, well, there's a couple of them, to have a space for women to regularly compete and against other women, you know, generally a safe space that we don't experience because of sexual harassment in regular Rocket League. And then also to actually transition players who enjoy this competition weekly, possibly into more professional competitions such as Women's Carball. So that is why we do require them to require players to be verified in both. But that is going to do it for this one. I Don't Skull Emoji having a decisive win in this first week of April. And, you know, they are going to make it pretty clear who are the victors to chase down for this $50 prize pool. But very well done to the players. I appreciate all of you guys for watching. Tune in next week as we get into week number 2 of April to see if these 3 players, Karamel, Pads, and Emily, can secure their second win, or if we will see some contenders rise up. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.